Anyway, we got ourselves a best of 5 PvP finals in the top right. Coming from the upper brackets, he is MaxPax. The bottom left, coming from the lower, he is Skillous. That means he has to win this best of 5 and a best of 3 to actually win this tournament. MaxPax, meanwhile, just has to win this best of 5, which I think is very likely. PvP can be, I think, rightfully talk about it as being a bit of a volatile matchup, but MaxPax has made it less volatile. His style has, despite, you know, nerfs to the style, it's still pretty good. Even when he doesn't do his one gate expand style, he's still very smart about the matchup and just, it was godlike. I mean, probably 80% win record and above for a while, years ago. It has fallen, but I would still say it's pretty godlike. It's demigod-like. There we go. He's like Hercules or something now, instead of Zeus. But yeah, it's pretty good. And so while Skillous is also very good at PvP, I mean, you don't come up in StarCraft 2, especially in the European server, without being good at PvP, because there's so many of them. It's always a different beast going up against MaxPax. It's a different beast going up to every single Protoss, because there's so many ways to play this matchup and builds you can use, and people who are more aggressive or less aggressive. But even aside from that, I think MaxPax is different. But every so often, there does rise one Protoss, maybe like once every quarter, that just seems to kind of have MaxPax's number. Sometimes that was Showtime. Once or twice, I think it was Skillous. And they start to reliably defeat MaxPax. But I mean, it's not for very long. They reliably beat him because they win 3 out of 5 series that they play. And then the next 5 series, it goes back to being MaxPax favorite. I haven't actually checked a League of Lack for these two in a while, but that's how it used to be. Both of them are 2-gating, so MaxPax is not doing his trademark style, shall we say. Is going into a Stargate, as Skillous perhaps looking more towards that next... Well, no. He does have a probe ready to go, but he is going to afford the additional Stalkers. I'm not going to try and be particularly greedy about it, so... This does mean that MaxPax is going to catch up on the Nexus, despite also fitting in a Stargate. Because he went 1 Adept, 1 Stalker, then Nexus, well, Stargate, then Nexus, and then another Stalker, whereas Skillous afforded a bit more. Skillous did cancel one of the Stalkers by the looks of things. Yeah, and they went for a Sentry instead. Very small changes here. Both of them getting a Nexus is kind of the most important thing, but this Stargate being included at almost 0 cost to MaxPax, you know, economically. I do say almost, because it looks like maybe there was a Chrono Boost that was used for Skillous on his Nexus. MaxPax used it perhaps on that Oracle, and used another one on Oracle too, so there is the cost, I suppose. But also very much decisions to be made. Maybe you're down 3 probes now because of that, of which Skillous isn't even using those additional probes at peak efficiency because they're long distance mining. But you have an Oracle that could theoretically kill 3+ probes and do a bunch of other things that are very useful. One of the changes for this matchup with the PTR maybe is the Oracle change, the Stasis Trap change. Now, Stasis Traps do not last nearly as long. Is that correct? I think that's correct. They used to be like 180 seconds. They were kind of insane. And now they're not. 2 probes have gone down. Pylon was destroyed in the front lines, but very little that MaxPax can find outside of that. Even overstays his welcome for just a hot second more than he should have, leading to the loss of both Stalkers. With that many sentries and force fields, perhaps that was always the likely situation. But yeah, does lose both of them. The Oracles, though, are finding that damage. As second Oracle comes into the natural, kills additional probes, 7 in total killed, giving MaxPax that 4-worker lead. And there you have it. He has taken the economy. He is down in the blink, however. Can Skillous actually find a timing to use said blink upgrade? I'm not sure that he could. He could, because he's also going to have a slight army lead, especially as the Oracles aren't exactly fighting units. And since their Stasis Trap does last only a minute as opposed to 3, or whatever the change was. Yeah, that is significant, because that means the Oracle that would be already preparing for this potential attack, already building a Stasis Trap here and here, has to be cleverer about the timing of it. Can't just be like, yep, set it and forget it, okay, bye. Has to actually think about, okay, now I need to wait, now I'll build the Stasis Trap. But these oracles aren't buying time by building stasis traps. They are buying time by threatening these naked probe lines, no shield batteries built in either line, which of course wouldn't help if both oracles were together, but would help if they were apart, as they are. Means that Skillous has to leave army there for an extended period of time. He is moving out now. Blink is going to finish up for MaxPax around this time, however, so that timing isn't quite there, but it's just more the question of the units, and it does look like the unit count is good. Especially as MaxPax loses the pylon that would have built the shield battery, and Skillous is proxy pyloning, as I am speaking, very aggressively. He wants this opportunity. MaxPax will not be able to get his third base up. Skillous could already be kind of happy about that, but as he loses 6, maybe 7 more probes to the Oracle, I think he has to get more. He is down 13 probes, so yes, he could just go for his own Nexus at this point and try and recover. That's a lot of probes to recover from. A Nexus, you know, having to wait for that to finish would not be good enough. Stalkers with the Blink battle going on right now. No shield battery as of yet for MaxPax, but he has cut up at least a little bit on the Stalker count. Perhaps not enough. He really needed that shield battery or a probe pool of his own, and he has some probes to spare. That's exactly what he has to do. Already losing a handful of Stalkers, of course, but maybe doing the probe pool at the right time with the shield battery finishing up and reinforcements coming into effect as well. Recharge on that too. Stalkers of Skillous are very, very low. Many of them going down to just 1 or 2 shots, and Skillous, knowing he will not break MaxPax, is going to tap out because he's still down by 13 probes. More, as the Oracles had swooped back in to kill more and more and more. GG's. That was the timing for Skillous. That was his one hope for redemption. And MaxPax held. Maybe you heard Microsoft put in a bid. That's very possible. But oh my god, if Microsoft was already in legal trouble with acquiring Activision, which arguably should not have gone through, but it did. Imagine if they had also tried to buy EA. That'd be a lot of palms greased, you know what I mean? Actually allow that to happen. Woo! Be rough with me, please. 10 gifted subs. 2 additional ones from Valorant. And thank you very much. Monday Night Weeklies today. This is actually officially the Calaris Steadfast Rotterdam Cup. But yeah. Game number 2 is going to be on Pylon. Top left, Skillous. Bottom right, MaxPax. Are pros tending to use the new Storm? Yeah. They are, for sure. The new Storm is actually quite good. Or at the very least, as good as old Storm was. Is EA going to be tagged as state-owned media? Maybe it should, but I think we all know how that's really going to work out. I don't think governments around the world, but maybe particularly America, has been super, super good about, you know, identifying those types of things and maybe trying to do something to counteract them. But I think that gets closer and closer to politic talk, which is just unwise. Looks like MaxPax is just not going to do any of his usual MaxPax antics in this PvP. 2 gates it is. To be fair, I haven't been casting as many of MaxPax's PvPs as usual. I do feel like the last PvP I saw him in last week, he did go for at least one gate expand. Yeah, maybe he's actually fully moved on from it. Why? I don't know. I will say that the 2-gate is more flexible. Defensively, absolutely. Offensively, for sure. The 1-gate expand that MaxPax was known for really only defended. It did not go on the offensive. Maybe once or twice MaxPax would do something really clever, like 1 gateway expand, but then not actually expand. Maybe. But even then, not a lot for him. The 2-gate can really be anything and everything. It could be defensive, it could be offensive, it could be a red herring because it's all about the Stargate. You know, it could be whatever it wants to be. No secret pylons for either side. But Skillous' probe is still moving around as if he doth plan to build one. 1 depth, 1 stalker. That's the mix that gives you a little bit of defense and a little bit of that scouting. 2nd stalker pops out in the nick of time alongside a shield battery being built. Skillous' probe is still awfully suspicious. What you doing there, buddy? What you doing? MaxPax's adept should be refused entry into the main, so it should not see anything suspects. For instance, the lack of technology. Where's your Stargate? Where's your Twilight Council? Or the lack of maybe a 4th pylon, which you won't count pylons literally forever in a PvP. It's not like you're counting the 8th pylon in PvP, but you can definitely count probably up to even 6 pylons, I would suspect. Because I think it's like the 5th pylon that might show it's a proxy Dark Shriner or something, you know, on 2 bases anyways, so on and so forth. I am not a super PvP expert. But yeah, it's not going to see a potentially missing pylon is the whole point. Because it definitely is being placed offensively. Now, this could just be a cheeky offensive pylon with 2 gateways. That little bit of extra oomph to attack. It can be quite important. It could even win a game, arguably. Just that little bit closer to your opponent, right? Even though you're not building a bunch of extra gateways. The Adept got in. The Adept got in. The Oracle is going to scout as well, but this is now just 2 opportunities to get a couple of probes. Does not lose the Oracle. That's much more important than the Adept, which unfortunately was not microed to attack the probes. I mean, this is super, super, super critical, high-level stuff, but arguably could have been done by MaxPax. It might have been one of those things where he thought he attacked a probe, and then it didn't really, or whatever happened, and the Stalker was attacked instead. That is 2 Oracles yet again, although one is very, very injured. Skillous does have to split his reinforcements to defend against those Oracles, which means he's not using his offensively placed pylon. This could still be used later as MaxPax barely avoids seeing it. That Stalker was almost certainly looking for it, and he barely avoids seeing it. But for the attack I think Skillous had in mind, it is not going to be used. As he had sent almost all of his army across the map, I really do think he was trying to attack. The Oracles, just a little too annoying. MaxPax's counter, not going to do a whole lot. He knows that. He knows that army is not bigger than his opponent's army, but he also knows that he has a lot of distraction that is possible. The Adepts that went in and died, the Oracles that are now leaving as opposed it's too dangerous, plus the frontal attack. Worked out before. It is not working out this game as Skillous shores up his defenses and does not take a lot of unnecessary probe damage. He still has lost 5 probes, and he is still overall down by 7. Now, that's somewhat of a choice, though, keep in mind, as he is probably intended to be at 44. And he is building them again, but he had lost the probes, so he is just simply dedicating more to the aggression yet again. Stasis Trap is popped by Skillous' probe. Is that the probe that built the pylon? Excellent probe. Way to go. 14 Stalkers from Skillous to 7 of MaxPax, and now MaxPax is also supply block. Shield Battery was going to try and save this 3rd Nexus. Without it, he cannot. Actually, MaxPax is really, really playing with fire at this point. He doesn't quite know the extent of the Stalker discrepancy here, but I mean, so many of the Stalkers are at home. 4 Stalkers are at home, still defending against the Oracles. So that would have made it, 13 to 10, I guess. And then the supply block happened. Not that Skillous could know MaxPax was supply blocked. That to me was a very scary 30 seconds. And then MaxPax is just 30 seconds later, like, what? What happened? What? And was I in trouble? I don't think I was in trouble. Apparently he wasn't. I don't know. Still 20 sockets to 11. MaxPax should still be a little worried here. I don't think he quite realized that their Nexus was as late as it was, only just now getting a scout on its building. But he does have a shield battery. He does have stasis traps, and he can pull some probes. More stalkers getting warped in for both parties. Shield battery out of energy. Maybe no recharge available now. Probes are being pulled. Skillous once again going for the attack, trying to, if not win the game, give himself a considerable lead. I think at this point he has. He has caught up in the probe count. He has obviously stayed higher up on the army count. Although he still is... He still is behind on the actual Nexus finishing, so the economy has still been in MaxPax's favor despite being less on probes. He is also starting now to lose the stalker count once again as he overstays with weakened stalkers. Proxy Gateway found out. MaxPax probably chuckling a little bit because he did almost scout that pylon 3 minutes ago. He wouldn't have had to worry at all if he had killed that. But apparently, as I was saying earlier, he just doesn't have to worry. I look at these numbers. I see a difference. I say that difference is scary. MaxPax scoffs. He laughs in the face of danger. He makes this look like it was no problem whatsoever. Well, again, holding on to the economic lead. We don't have game hearts, so I can't show you the graph, but I was looking at the numbers here. And he was always ahead in the actual mineral count up until this exact moment, but it looks like he's going to win the soccer fight. So that is that. That is actually game. Skillous. It feels like he had a couple of moments, and every time it just like nothing actually happened. And when it did happen, MaxPax is able to survive. Defender's advantage, probe pull, shield battery. MaxPax makes this matchup look so easy. Maybe Skillous goes back into the replay after the series is done and sees a better push point. Maybe he goes back in the replay and says, I really should have pushed right then. Maybe. But I don't even want to say that. I just want to remark on how easy MaxPax makes this game look. The best of 5 continues. The top left up 2-0. It is MaxPax. On the bottom left of Persephone, it is Skillous. You know what I realized in that last game too, since I was looking at the numbers? I did not re-download the new overlay since I reinstalled Windows. I am theoretically should be using just the WCS 3.0 that came with the... Wait, is it... Have I forgotten which overlay does what? I have. Okay, so I need to download the Pro Tour 2020 updated one. That's what it is. If I use the Pro Tour that's right there on the basic overlay, the Pro 2020, it would give me a bigger production icons, which I agree are kind of nicer. But then it would give me arrows instead of numbers, which I hate. You need a modified version to actually get the bigger production tab and the numbers. And I keep forgetting to do it. But I'll remember one day. And then I'll have the perfect casting setup. Anyway. Skillous is going to get aggressive. He has a proxy pylon. Not one for a little bit of this and that like last game, which he wouldn't even be able to use. He wasn't able to use. That is right here, and then you walk forward with your units off of 2 gateways, and then a couple more reinforcements. No. This is much more serious. This is a proxy 3rd gateway. MaxPax knows something is up. Second pylon's missing. Is it a fake? Is it real? Is it a robo? Is it a Stargate? Is it a gateway? He might send another probe to go look if he's very convinced. Yes, and he is very convinced that he should. He's looking around. This would be a very common location for a Stargate. Yeah, Stargate. This would certainly be a very common location for a Stargate. If he doesn't see anything here, strike Stargate off the list pretty much for certain. It could still be a fake second pylon, like proxy, you know, something, and then the Stargate could go up here, I suppose. But, or third pylon. But anyway, the stalkers of Skillous are going to try and keep this safe, even if it is scouted. So far, it is not scouted. MaxPax has an adept across the map, hoping to get in and see, at this point, a lack of something. A lack of a third pylon at the natural, not even a fourth pylon at the natural. And that is already alarm bells. This is something that is very serious. Robo third gateway still to be determined for MaxPax. He's built a shield battery. He's still going to try and get his Nexus. He still went into a Stargate and is still going into an Oracle. You might say, you know, panic right now. Get as much as you can on the front lines. Get a Void Ray. It's something that's going to be actually able to help you. And he is now grabbing a Void Ray. But he wanted to fit that Oracle in because he wants that Oracle to cause some disruption to his opponent's economy or to his warp-ins, right? 2 Stalkers have to be warped in back at home. Now MaxPax knows for sure that's a gateway. I already could tell by the number of units. But now he knows for sure. Oracle comes in. Revelation has to back out. Maybe it comes back home to help. Maybe not. Void Ray is almost about out. 3 shield batteries seems pretty damn good to me, although it is only... Well, no. That might look like an Artosis pylon, but that should power that. This 3-gate is looking a little feeble. Still has yet to get a unit. Only probes have gone down. The Scouting Adept didn't fall. The Oracle didn't fall. A Stalker wasn't pushed forward unnecessarily and fell. This is already such a good start to defending the 3-gate for Skillous. Or for MaxPax, that I really don't know how Skillous is supposed to win here. He does have more warp-ins, but MaxPax has a second Void Ray. It is out. It is ready to help. Is this not already it? Guardian Shield could also come in handy, or Force Fields. Force Fields are also very good. Shield batteries do need to be in play for these engagements, but they are. So good enough. Probes are pulled because you can definitely afford to do that. This is super all-in from Skillous, and it is super not working. Yeah, GG's. MaxPax in 3-0. Smooth. MaxPax still arguably the best Protoss in the world. He will take this Open Cup in almost flawless fashion.